So my breakfast is always a venti iced coffee from Starbucks, and I'll show you how I mix them actually the next day. And for lunch, I had Chick-fil-A with a side salad. This is the best ranch in the entire world, and it is low carb. I asked for grilled nuggets, but they gave me regular nuggets, which I was kind of upset about, but I ended up eating them anyways, which is fine. So these are just the vitamins that I take every day, and I feel like I've been on a vitamin kick lately, but I love vitamins. And then while I was studying, I wanted a little snack, so I just had a cheese cube. So I wanted a sweet, so I decided to mix half a stick of butter with some cream cheese and sweetener, and then I broke up some dark chocolate and put it in there, and it was amazing. Such a good low-carb dessert. And of course, the next morning, I had my venti iced coffee. This is me drinking it black, and it's not good. And this is how I mix it. So today I had heavy whipping cream, which I always put in there, along with 6 packets of Sweet and Low, which I put in downstairs so I didn't video. And then I decided to add a little bit of peppermint extract. Usually I add either peppermint extract or a skinny syrup in the flavor caramel vanilla. Hey guys! So I feel like, well, I don't feel like I haven't been able to like sit down and talk about my video this week yet. These past 2 weeks have been so crazy. I have been so busy, like it's insane. And I'm struggling a little bit more than usual. So I wanted to talk about keto and kind of like why I do it. Also, I wanted to say last night I had the best burger of my whole life and a side salad for a meal swipe on campus, and it was so good that I forgot to video it because I just like went for it. But yeah, it was like a burger with bacon, cheese, barbecue sauce, and onions. Yeah, it was really good. I also wanted to talk about my keto strips. It's these things. So basically, like you pee on them and it like changes colors based on like how much ketosis you're in. So if it like changes any colors, you're like technically in ketosis, but I like being over here because it means that you're like super in ketosis. So the past like week and 3 days I've been waking up and going to bed over here, which is really good. That means like I'm eating really well. I used to eat coleslaw every day, and turns out coleslaw is full of carbs, so that knocked me out. But because of these strips, I like found out that it was not really keto. But yesterday, like I said, I ate the Chick-fil-A nuggets and they were super good. Oh my goodness. But it didn't even knock me out of ketosis a little bit. So like, not gonna be an everyday thing, definitely, but it's something to like, I don't know, snack on weekends or something. But yeah, I love being in ketosis because I just feel like I have such pure energy. Like right now, I literally got like 4 hours of sleep last night and I could just like go run a marathon. Like I'm just like excited and happy all the time. I really feel like I'm like able to control my emotions more whenever I'm in ketosis. And I don't want to say that's part of the reason I got on it. I'll just tell you the story. So my dad has been doing the keto diet since I was a freshman in high school, so like 4 years. And he's always like preached about it, been like, oh, it's like so good for you, it makes you feel so good and stuff. And I was always like, okay, like I love cake, I love french fries, I love Frosties, you know, like I'm not gonna give that stuff up. My senior year, I literally would eat cake whenever I was sad and eat Frosties and french fries whenever I like was happy. So that didn't go great, and I gained like a little bit of weight, and by a little bit I mean like 15 pounds. Also didn't play basketball my senior year, which definitely attributed to that. I feel like I was in such a dark place and like just never want to be there again. So July 1st I was working my first full-time job, 40 hours a week, on my feet for at least 8 hours a day. So my legs were like getting inflamed. And I would come home and I would literally be completely drained of energy. I'd be like, I literally can't do anything else. And that's not how I wanted to be. Plus on top of that, like I was not in a good place mentally. I was so sad all the time. So I was like, you know what, like my dad says keto reduces inflammation, like, and it makes you feel better, gives you more energy. So I was like, I'm just gonna try it. So I went on the keto diet starting July 1st, 2019, and it was the best decision of my whole life. So I was really strict about it. I want to say until like honestly the beginning of October. It's like 3 months, and I did so good. I lost a lot of weight, which was, it definitely made me feel better about myself and boosted my confidence. But like the major reason I stayed on it was honestly because I felt so happy. I had so much energy. I could stand for 8 hours a day and my legs would not like die. And so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna keep doing this. And then college came around and I was like, it's gonna be hard in college, you know, whatever. Honestly, the hardest part that I've like come to in college is like friends, like hanging out with friends. They want to be like, oh, let's go get cookies, and I'm like, okay, I can't eat them, but I'll go with you, and that's kind of awkward, especially when you're like just meeting people and stuff. So yeah, that was honestly the hardest part. October, I like broke keto a few times and I would feel really bad, but it was also like I noticed whenever I broke it because I would get more upset and everything felt like such a bigger deal than it was whenever I broke keto. But then I had an allergic reaction to almonds because I'd never had almonds in my whole life, and I didn't know what it was. I thought it was washing powders because I'm allergic to certain brands of washing powders, but it like wouldn't go away. So I had to get on prednisone, and prednisone, the way it works, I'm not exactly sure, like I'm not a pharmacist, not a doctor, but basically it like binds to your insulin receptors to like work to like reduce inflammation, but basically it like spikes your insulin. So I was knocked out of ketosis and very emotional, very upset. And then I kept eating almonds because I didn't realize that I was allergic to them. So I had to go on it again. So I was on prednisone for like basically a whole month. And during that time it was like Thanksgiving, finals, and I was stress eating, and I didn't understand why I couldn't be keto. Like it was literally impossible for me. All I wanted to do was eat sweets and like binge eat, honestly. But it was because I was on prednisone and my insulin levels were like way up, making me crave food. Then Christmas break came around, I was still on keto, but my face was getting really fat and people were noticing. Like my family was like, Grace, like I guess you're not on keto anymore. And I was like, yeah, like I literally can't be, and I don't know why. So then I did some research on prednisone. I realized why, and then after I got off, I think I started back on keto on New Year's Day. I moved back to college on January 12th, and it was kind of the same thing. Like I was making new friends because it's a new semester, and they wanted to like go eat acai bowls or stuff like that, and like I would be on ketosis, and then I would like eat a lot of carbs, and then I would just go run. And I would, this is when also whenever I got the ketone strips. So I would like test and I would be like in light ketosis, and I was like, okay, that's enough. But like since I was eating those sweets, it made me crave more sweets. So that was really hard. And then on February 17th, I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna be keto, I'm gonna be keto. So that's whenever I started like cutting out even like coleslaw, and I started eating more like real keto foods, I guess. I do keto like not the like organic, like pure foods way, just because I cannot afford that. Like I am a broke college student. It does not work, which is fine. Like I'm still in ketosis. People who say like eat hot dogs, you're not in ketosis, wrong. And I have this scientific proof. I'm sorry, I'm like so passionate about this. I don't even know why. But yeah, so basically I've been in deep ketosis since February 17th, almost 2 weeks, not even quite. But I'm planning on literally not cheating at all for a month at least, and then hopefully longer, because I've like told my friends about it and they know, so like they're not hopefully gonna invite me to like go eat insomnia cookies, or if they do, like they'll know I'm not gonna eat it. I love keto, and I would recommend it to anyone, but at the same time it is so hard to get into it. Like the first 10 days are like hard. Like the first 3 you're like, oh, like this is fine, and then after like day 3 you have no energy, you just want to eat sweets. But I was honestly in such like a low place, and it was just honestly something I needed at the time, and I knew that. So I like pushed through to like day 10, and then after day 10 you start feeling better. And I feel like I'm I'm fat adapted, so I can get in and out of ketosis more easily, but it's still like it's still like those first 3 days, like after the 3rd day you're like, why am I doing this to myself? I don't want to do this. And then after day 3 you're like, woo, energy, like everything's great. Also wanted to mention that This is not what I eat every day, so this is like a weekend food in my life, which is a lot different from a week food in my life because I have a very strict schedule. Usually I will eat pulled pork right after class with either green beans. I usually don't eat a lot of green beans because they're not full of carbs, but they have some carbs in them. So I'll either eat that or like uncooked broccoli or cucumbers or cheese, honestly. And then for dinner, I'll either go get an omelet or I'll go to Honeycomb, which is actually closed on the weekends, and it's like the cafeteria place downstairs. It's more like what you think of like a traditional college food experience. So they have like they have a place where you can make sandwiches and always make ham and cheese wrap-ups. They usually have like some kind of like chicken or something that I'll get sometimes, or they always have burgers or hot dogs, and I'll just eat a burger without the bun or a hot dog without the bun. And I eat a lot of celery. I love celery. It's a great side. You can dip it in a little bit of hummus if you like really want to like treat yourself, I guess. Hummus also isn't full carbs, but it does have a few, so you have to like limit yourself. It's definitely not for everybody, but I feel like it is for me, and I absolutely love it. And no, I'm not gonna be on it for the rest of my life, but at this point in my life, I feel like it's something that I just need. And yeah, so I hope you enjoy the video. Like and subscribe if you do, and I'll see you next week.
And like I said, I usually get for lunch, I ended up getting pulled pork with green beans, and I did not eat all the green beans.
And for dinner, I had this beautiful, delicious omelet.